One of the things that's difficult about software development, especially for more complex projects, is that the developer ends up building up a stack of things in their head. So in order to do software development, it's not really the code that's hard. It's understanding the business, what the business requirements are. It's understanding where the software is currently and where I need it to go. And a lot of times that's not just like a one, I move from point A to point B. It's more like I've got 7 or 8 points and they all need to migrate, collectively to all the other points here, and they all kind of need to work together, especially in bigger, more complex systems. And so being able to just hang on to all that stuff in your mind and track it and know what needs to change when, it's a pretty challenging thing to hold all that stuff in kind of short and midterm memory. And so every time that a developer gets interrupted when they're in the midst of something like that, that's taxing on them to have to, see that stack crash and then bring it back together and kind of get up to speed. There's been studies shown that like if a developer is in the zone, like they're really clipping along, everything's right there available to them, and you interrupt them, even small interruptions as small as like just responding to a Slack on a different topic, it can take them 15 to 30 minutes to get back into that zone. Development is something that needs long, uninterrupted periods of time where the developer kind of increasingly gets in that zone and becomes really aware of what's going on and puts a plan together in their mind for how they're going to accomplish the task. Tearing down that stack and constantly coming out of that zone and going back in, you get to the point where you're so concerned about being interrupted, you never get in the zone. And so that really hinders the developer's productivity and takes a pretty significant toll on like just their mental and emotional disposition. So if you're going to get a developer involved in a meeting or something, it's usually better to do that at the beginning of the day so that that's over with, they're done, and then they can go get the get the work done. There are a lot of companies who have way too many meetings, and if you ask people, are the meetings productive or did I really need to be there? Most of the time, both answers are no. It wasn't useful for me. So at level 12, we really only have 2 standing meetings. One standing meeting that we have is the weekly stand-up on Tuesday mornings. Everybody's involved in that. And again, that's to help kind of combat the remote nature of what we do. And then for the developers, the only other company-wide meeting we have is a once-a-month developer meeting where we just try to keep on track with whatever kind of improvements we're making to development as a whole.